Welcome to another episode of This Is Why I Don't Vote, a podcast. Season 4, Episode 47. Your safe space to discuss sports, politics, social issues, and even religion, where we will take it all very seriously, but not too seriously. It is a week before Thanksgiving, and I was exposed to Christmas music already. I see the imagery being put up already. I haven't done this in a while, so why don't we explore the pros and cons of Christmas music the week before Thanksgiving? Why are they doing this? Why are the retailers subjecting us to this so early on in the year? What does this music, this imagery, inspire us to do, and why are we so susceptible to it? And why, perhaps, is it an overall boon to the U.S. economy that we are slaves to the Christmas music? Thank you to all my longtime listeners. If you're new to the podcast, please like, subscribe, thumbs up, 5-star, write a review, send to friends and enemies far and wide. Yes, This Is Why I Don't Vote podcast is on Patreon. If you like what you hear, please consider supporting.
Act 1. Hearing Christmas music the week before Thanksgiving is like a kick in the balls.
Bought some shoes online, didn't like them, needed to return them, started to go through the online shipping return process, and discovered that this shoe company had a physical location, a store in Scottsdale, Arizona, in Kierland Commons, which is an outdoor mall. This created quite a quandary for me, because that meant that I would have to present at a physical store in a mall. I don't like the mall. You say, well, Patrick, that's a very nice mall. That is an oxymoron. There is no such thing as a nice mall. It's a mall. It's a shithole by its very nature. Hey, here's a piece of shit for you to eat. Now this shit, it doesn't taste good at all, but this shit, it's excellent. No, it's not. It's shit. Shit is shit. What are you talking about? Fashion Square Mall, Kierland Commons, these have some of the nicest retail stores in the country. That's it exactly. You're going to a mall which is fundamentally shitty, and you're going to go spend $3,000, $8,000, $12,000? What kind of asshole are you? Now that's the old me talking. The old me would not go to that mall. The old me would go through the trouble, filling out whatever form needed to be filled out, actually printing a label off, taking that label to a place, and then giving it to a person and say, I'd rather ship these than have to present at a mall in order to get my refund and or exchange. Longtime listeners of the show will know I'm trying to work on these prejudices, these egoistic judgments, if you will, about the world and the way it works. Hell, why don't I get in the car and I'm going to drive to the mall? I'm going to present at the mall and I'm going to walk around like every other asshole and I'm going to go shop at the mall. And that is exactly what I did. I got in my car. I drove to the mall. I parked my car. I got out of my car and I began walking around Kierland Commons, a very aesthetically pleasing outdoor mall. What did I hear as soon as I got out of my car? And let's note, this podcast is going to be released on November 23rd, the year of our Lord, 2024. It is not yet Thanksgiving. It is the week before Thanksgiving. I get out of my car, I park the car, I start walking around. What is on the Muzak? What is on the audio being relayed throughout the mall, inescapable as you are walking around? It's Christmas music. It's fucking Christmas music. They're playing Christmas music the week before Thanksgiving. I felt compelled to do a piece on this because this music, there's this popular culture thing about, oh, do you play Christmas music at this point? Do you play it? This conversation that happens in the popular culture lexicon, it's somewhat useless because there's a specific reason why this music, why all of this imagery has been pushed further and further back into the year versus it being contemporaneous around the Christmas holiday. So this is putting two pieces of information together that we all know, that we all recognize, and yet we don't ever put these two pieces of information together to understand why something is happening. So why do retailers, why do all of these malls, why is this culture of Christmas being pushed further and further into November, U.S. retailers make most of their money, and I want everyone to focus on what I'm saying and how I'm saying it. They make most of their money in about a 6-week period. For 6 weeks out of the entire 52 weeks of the year, U.S. retailers are making most of their money. Now, what do I mean? Since the invention of Black Friday, which is a invention that was spurned on by the retail industry whole cloth, it's pretty much bullshit. It's just an opportunity for retailers to prime you to start buying things in anticipation of Christmas. So they're going to push that off onto another holiday, Thanksgiving, and say, hey, we know you're in the holiday spirit. We know you just celebrated a holiday. We know that you may be having the type of cheer that we want you to associate with that Yuletide cheer. Hey, here's some cheap shit. Is it really cheap? No, it's just a number on a page. We mark up the price and then we give you a discount and you think you're getting some sort of deal, but it's starting all of this madness that we call the Christmas season, the holiday season, this gift-giving season. And how are we, as human beings, these experiments that we call human beings, triggered to start thinking this way? That it's time to get gifts. It's time to start thinking about all the people that we're going to give to. We're Pavlov's dog. And the whistle for us in the holiday season is this dumbass Christmas music. When we hear that Christmas music, we know it's time to start buying. U.S. retailers of hobby, toy, and games, 35% of their entire annual retail sales are done between Black Friday and New Year's. Department stores, close to 34% of their annual revenue is generated in retail sales from Black Friday to December 31st. Souvenir stores, gift stores, novelty stores, over 30%. Clothing stores, over 30%. Electronic stores, 29%. Beer, wine, and liquor. Ah, it's so good. It's so nutritious and delicious. 28%. Sporting goods stores, 28%. Warehouse superstores, your Costco's of the world, 28%. Bookstores, who reads anymore? Who actually goes out and buys a book? You know when you do? It's during the Christmas season. It's from Black Friday to New Year's. 27% of the total retail sales annually are going to be in 6 weeks between Black Friday and January 1st for books. Grocery stores. You know, we eat every day. Did you hear about that, dear listener? We eat food every day, and we often go to these places called stores to buy that food. You wouldn't think that there'd be a huge spike in the consumption of foodstuffs, perishable foodstuffs, but grocery store sales, their retail sales between Black Friday and January 1st, it accounts for 26% of their annual gross revenues. Listen to what I'm saying to you. I know we're fat fucks in February and in July, just as we are in November and December. 26% of your annual sales are made in 6 weeks between Thanksgiving and Christmas. We hear that whistle, dear listener. We hear that Christmas music, and we come a-running with our wallet. I've had this conversation with a number of people over a number of years. I hear people all the time say, oh, I love that Christmas music. I love it. It gets me in the Christmas spirit. I don't understand you. I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know what hole you're trying to fill in your life. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I like certain bands. I like certain songs from certain bands. I have what I believe is a pretty eclectic musical palette. And I get tired of some of the songs that I'm listening to. I think we all get into a situation where we are looking for new music. We want either new music from the artists that we love, or we'd like to get into a different type of genre of music. Christmas music is the same music every single year. Same music, same songs. There may be one pop culture song that comes out every 5 or 10 years and they drive that into the ground. People like the Chipmunks songs. Those songs were bad when you were 8 years old. They were bad songs. You heard that song once and you thought, I can tolerate that. Frontal cortex still forming, still trying to develop an ego, a psyche. I can tolerate this. There might be a small part of me that likes it. But you see 40 and 50 and 60-year-old people who they enjoy when the Chipmunks song comes on over the Muzak, over the speaker system in the mall that they're walking around. Okay, I get it. You like it. I'm going to try. I'm refraining with everything that I have not to negatively comment on this. But why do you have to shove this shit down my throat in order to shop at the mall? If there are any of you out there who are thinking, I don't understand how someone could be so introverted, someone could become so isolated during the holidays. If it's between me staying holed up in my house to avoid the Chipmunk song for an entire 6-week period and being exposed to but 30 seconds of that stupid ass shit, I'm staying in my house. As much as you may think it is the Christmas spirit, these retailers, these corporations don't have a spirit. They are a legal fiction. They are created to separate you from your money. They are no different than a casino. Yes, there's a bunch of bright lights and flashy things in a casino, separating you from your money. That's what this Christmas music is encouraging you to do from a subconscious and unconscious level. You know it's the Christmas season. You know it's the Christmas season when the music starts, and you are psychologically prepared to spend that legal tender that you have. And all of these retailers know it. All of these stores know it. So that music is our Pavlov's whistle. Like dogs, we come a-running.
Act 2. Shut up and buy.
Now that the prick in me has had his say,
Shut up and
that's right. In the disturbing and violent words of one Maynard James Keenan, shut up and buy. If you look at all this consumerism from below instead of above, and you actually take in, you try to comprehend the numbers, the sales that these retail stores, that these box stores, that all of these wholesalers and retailers are doing over the course of a 6 or 7 week period, you realize how important this season is to the U.S. economy. People are going to keep or lose their jobs during the holiday season. You have seasonal employees. You have people who take on certain types of seasonal jobs just because the money is so good during the holiday period. There's a great South Park episode. That's right. I'll quote South Park again. I'll quote South Park forever. There's a great South Park episode, episode 17 of, I believe, season 4. And I think it's called The Spirit of Commercialism or A Very Crappy Christmas. I think it's actually called A Very Crappy Christmas, but took on the moniker of The Spirit of Christmas is Commercialism based on the message in the episode. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo, is not coming around to spread Christmas joy. The kids go into the sewer to find him. It turns out that his life is falling apart. He's an alcoholic. He's got problems in his marriage. It's a whole thing. Mr. Hanky, he's just like us. Well, without the Christmas spirit, no one goes out and buys gifts, and you see the economy come to a halt. Not only are the children disappointed, but then you see the parents who, without perhaps realizing it, are dependent on the money, that surge of consumerism, so that they are secure in their own careers and their own jobs. You get this It's a Wonderful Life type montage of what it means to have all that money enter the economy at one time in one season. Naturally, because if anything, South Park is a positive, optimistic program, the people go out, They start spending money. Mr. Hanky comes around. His marriage is solidified. He gets the Christmas spirit, and he goes out and spreads joy around, and the people go out and spend money, and you see how it benefits all of society. Now, as stupid and sophomoric and boring as any one of you might think that episode of South Park is, or that South Park is in general, it is illustrative of the way our economy works. If you have businesses that are looking to capture 30% of their annual revenue in one quarter, and in reality, in a 6 or 8 week period of that quarter, that's a very important part of our economy overall. Businesses are going to make financial decisions in the first quarter of the next year based on their receipts for the last 6 to 8 weeks of the year prior, that holiday season. Retail absolutely depends on it. Restaurants, bars, grocery stores, they depend on it. Is materialism, is consumerism often looked at as crass and ugly? Yes. Because it probably is? Yes. But does it make the wheels spin round? Yes. Yes, it does. It not only pays the bills, but it generates enough revenue for other people to get employed, for other people to manufacture things, assemble things, ship things, store things, market things, sell things. I don't particularly enjoy how we get from point A to point B, but we certainly need to get to point B. So if that bell or that whistle to summon Pavlov's dogs is Christmas music, so be it. Do we all wish that there was a lot more thought put into the meaning behind Christmas and the Christmas spirit, outside of course a cartoon piece of defecation floating around spreading Christmas cheer? Yes, I wish that there was more thought put into why we buy gifts during the Christmas period. But the fact of the matter is, our economy depends on us buying those gifts, giving those gifts. And it came through me as I was preparing for the rant in segment 1 that it is a selfish luxury to be able to say, oh, I'm going to refrain from the materialism that's associated with the holiday season. It's hard to do that if you have kids. It's hard to do that if you have a family. It's hard to do that if you're a member of a community. So generally, people that are adamant that they don't want to participate in this ruse, they're not going to be part of this consumerism, this commercialism, they may be a lonely, curmudgeonly prick anyway. No one really wants to associate with a prick in the first place, and you certainly don't want to associate with a prick during the holidays. Yeah, I, like the rest of you, don't want to be summoned to go to the mall in order to spend my money in order to prop up the U.S. economy, but I guess we need it. We need the prompt. I've been getting up at 5 a.m. to work out in the morning because I find that in my older age, working out in the morning works better for my body. My body likes it. The rest of me doesn't. Would I like to just get up at 5 a.m. without any prompt, any alarm? Of course I would. Do I need to use an alarm? Yes, I do. Am I happy when that alarm goes off on any day that ends in Y at 5 a.m.? No, I'm not. Likewise, I am not happy to hear the Christmas music a week before Thanksgiving. But perhaps it's necessary so that there's enough money flowing into the economy so that everyone, no matter where you are, where you find yourself in this economy, that everyone can have a happy holiday season. This is Why Don't Vote, a podcast.